Today I'm going to show you how to put together the Bonnlo fishing cart. Bonnlo, B-O-N-N-L-O, bought it from Amazon. It came here within 2 days. And here is what is in the box. You got some nuts and bolts, some connector pieces. These are the connector pieces. Got some instruction manual and a little strap. 2 wheels and 6 fishing rod holders. Got some handlebars there, and here is the main frame. First thing, remove these little plastic covers. And these things will go in like this. This is where, this will be going towards the bottom. This is where the wheel will go in. And you have the 2 wheels on the side. Okay, in order to put these 2 bottom pieces together, you're gonna need some of these bolts and nuts that were included in the package. And you need these little yellow connecting pieces. You notice how that has the little square holes in there. Okay, and then the nuts and also the bolt here. You're gonna need 2 per section. It also has a little, it's also square up here so that it'll fit tightly into here without spinning. See, it goes in there without spinning. And also you need this little wrench that came with the package as well. Now this thing is gonna be where the wheels go, so it's gonna be towards the bottom. So what you want to do is put these. Okay, so what you want to do is put it through like this, and then go through the bottom like that. Okay, and you want to do the same on both of these little holes. Now these little bolts just go on top, just like that. They are lock nut, so once you put them in, it won't come undone by itself unless you purposely undo it. So there are 2 sides to this. One of them says 10, which is the bigger size. The other one says 8. So this little small bolt requires an 8. So you just tighten everything up. Okay. You want to leave it a little bit loose. Don't tighten it up all the way yet, because you want to make sure all the pieces go in good before you cinch everything down. Now just do the repeat process for, now just do the same for each one of these bars. Okay, once everything is in, now you can go back and just cinch it down. It doesn't have to be overly tight or anything. And this is the other piece that we need to connect. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit confusing. The instruction wasn't too clear. Okay, so you have the top piece and the bottom piece. Okay, make sure the side, they have 2 holes. Yeah, make sure they match on the top and the bottom rack. Okay, now to put those 2 together, you have this connector piece. Okay, now look at the inside. See, there's a little groove right there. Okay, so that little groove is gonna sit. It's gonna go towards this little groove section, go towards the frame, like this. See, the groove is on this side. And the other thing that the instruction kind of did not tell you, but after looking at it, yeah, you can probably figure it out, is this bolt. Okay. Notice that this side has a big hole and a little hole. Okay. So with this M5 by 35 and this Allen wrench, you want to put it through the big hole to go through the other side, like this. Okay, and this is how you're gonna tighten it up. Okay, so go ahead and put it through. Okay. Now you don't want to. You see how you see the bolt come through? Okay. And this side you will need a washer. And once again, a little bolt. Okay. All right. So let me just put it together. And I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. Okay. So I'm going to connect to this bolt through that thing. Okay. And I am threading this key through this section. This is actually a hole. Okay. And this thing is to hold the bolt on the side of the bolts in. Okay. So you want to just hang it like this and thread it through. Okay. This is where the instructions are big. Okay. You want to hold it up. Yeah. This is the bottom section. As you can, this is the bottom section of the frame. This is the bottom section of the frame. This is the bottom section of the part. You want to take it up. This is like that. Okay. Once again, just tightening it up. Okay. So we do it first. I'll show you afterwards. You want to okay. So after, this is what it looks like. Okay, so this thing goes up, and then you do the same thing for this upper frame. Okay. You notice that these M5 by 35 bolt does not have that little square thing at the end right here, because this little hole is round. So there's no need for that little square hole. So once again, push it through. Okay, then line it up with the upper frame. Push it through. Now since the other side is not connected yet, you might want to put something underneath to prop it up. Now I use the 2 wheels to prop up the other end while I tighten down this section. Again, you need a washer and a bolt. Okay, and then the rest of the bolt still has a spin. Okay, you want to use this to tighten it a little bit. Okay, there you go. It doesn't have to be on super tight, at least not yet. Once everything is done, you can tighten everything up. We can start on this side. This side requires the smaller bolt. It came in the package like this. And instead of using a metal thing like this for the back, you'll be installing this fish rod holder. It goes towards the back. Now I can take the wheel out. Okay. So if everything's done, the fish rod holder, this thing goes towards the top. So make sure, since this is the top rack, so it goes in like this. Okay. See, it has these little groove right here. It has these little grooves, so fit inside the frame. One thing I forgot to mention is the bolt that goes on top is the shorter one. Okay? And the bolt that goes down the bottom is the longer one. See the difference? And the top one, according to the instructions, you don't need a washer. But the bottom one, you need to put on a washer. Okay? Because I suppose it prevents your pole from completely just falling through this thing if your pole is too skinny or something. But the bottom one, so the instruction is kind of, to me, it's kind of vague. Okay. So it goes like that. Okay. You see how the bottom bolt is? It goes like that. Just remember that these tubes are plastic, so you don't need to tighten it down really hard, or else the tube will crack. Okay, so do the same for all your rod holder. Small one on top, big one on the bottom. Bottom one also has a washer. Okay. All right. Okay. So now we're going to do the wheel. Notice that on the frame, it has a little square axle tube. And at the bottom of the axle tube, there is the little round hole right here. And what you want to do is grab your axle tube. Okay. Take your axle tube with this little push pin in the same direction as this little hole. Okay, make sure it's in the same direction. You want to push that down a little bit. Okay, and push it through until you see it pop out on the other side. There you go. See, it came out on the other side. Now, you want to take your little plastic tube. There's a smaller end, and then this end is a little bit larger. So you want to insert the little end down, and then it pushes into this metal frame. Okay, then now you can put on the wheel. Okay, and then to finish off the wheel, you need this little washer, and then the locking pin. Okay, this locking pin. Okay, make sure it goes from the top down, and then flip it over. There you go. Now you do the same on the other side. And this is what your cart should look like right now. Okay, now the only thing left to do is to install the handle. Okay. Okay. And then this little connection piece, essentially you just push into the tube right here. The first piece will go down like this. Okay. First piece, you just want to insert into this little hole. Push it down. And then you just use one of these to lock it. And then this bottom piece, take out the little cap. Okay. And it goes down the bottom. Whoa. Anyway, it goes down the bottom like this. Okay. Then once again, you use this thing to lock it. And let me go ahead and do that now. Push it through, lock it in. There you go. Then now, the only thing left is that you put in the top handle. Once again, remove the plastic clip, the little pull handle. So in order to put in the handle, once again, you need this little bolt, which has the square thing towards the head right here. So it locks into that square part. So you put it in like this, line it up with the hole that's on this handle. Okay, lock it in, and just tighten up with the little nut right here. All right, and that's it. I'll show you the end product in a little bit. Well, this is the final product. Once you have put everything together, it seems pretty sturdy. I'm glad that the handle is removable, so it's the wheel. So I can fit this into the trunk of my car. The height of the handle is adjustable. You can make it shorter or taller. So you can lift it up easy and pull it. It's rated for up to 250 pounds. As you know, the plastic tubes on the side, they're just plastic. So 250 pounds, I would assume that you will have to load it up on the bottom, but nothing sitting on the top, because these tubes, I don't think they'll handle 250 pounds on top. So there you go. Now, just make sure you go back and all the nuts and bolts that you did not completely tighten up earlier, just go ahead and tighten those up, and then you have yourself a beautiful fishing cart. See you later.